Hey ya fellas, let's talk a bit about budget camera phones that will not only save your wallet, but also will grant a nice quality camera content. Welcome to Tech Fellas, my name is Bogdan and I hope that this video will be useful and come in handy. So, let's take into it. I'll start with a rather oldie smartphone called Google Pixel. You got it right, I'm talking about its first generation. The smartphone received great love from the audience, especially in terms of shooting capabilities. Taking the fact that Pixel 1 came to us far in 2016, people are still happy about its cameras. At the moment you can find it probably only on AliExpress or eBay in a refurbished or used state, but still in quite a large amount and for just slightly above $100. In general, this is a very inexpensive photo gun that will help you to fill your Instagram with cool content. Surely if you enjoy Google Pixel overall and are ready to drop a bit more money, basically any of them will serve you well in terms of photo and video shooting. Obviously the Pixel 4 will bring more fun than the third one, the third is better than the second, etc. Yeah, don't forget that Pixel 1 hardware is pretty old, so you better decide whether you need it just for taking pictures or for something more. Actually, is there somebody who's watching this video from Pixel 1? How is it in 2020 in your opinion? Please share in comments. Among the recent Google Pixels, I can note Pixel 4a for its nice value and definitely cool cameras. But let's jump onto another company, Apple. As for the photos, their iPhones very often fall behind Android smartphones, but in the video shooting they can give a handicap almost to anything. As part of this video I will recall two smartphones. The first one is iPhone SE, but I'm not talking about its second generation, cause the older model still can take videos in 4K. They are quite sharp and clear. If you use the device with some stabilizing tool or if you shoot statically from a tripod, you will most likely to be satisfied with the results. If we're talking about the situations when you need not an external stabilizer but a built-in one, take a look at iPhone 7. If you try hard, you can still find it in an official refurbished version, and nobody is forbidding eBay or AliExpress after all. Frankly, while writing this script, I was recalling that shooting clips on the smartphone was always a big pleasure. Now we are passing the line of super budget camera phones and taking a look into more pricey segment, cause I don't want to feed you some crap, and besides the next ones will be still less expensive than some flagship smartphones, although they are great in camera shooting. Let's start with Vivo X50, that's totally worth its budget. To be honest, the X50 concept reminded me a lot of the iPhones in the past. You just take the smartphone out of your pocket and take a nice and quick photo. In general, the auto mode is just perfect here. Pro mode, of course, is also delivered. You will be happy about the results of its work. By the way, unlike the models I mentioned earlier, X50 has modern hardware and will definitely be supported for a long time in terms of software updates. If all this is important to you, keep this in mind. Up next in the price scale is Huawei P30 Pro. This is the flagship of the past season that literally shook up the market. In addition to the awesome photos that you can take on its main module, it also has a special trick that is still not so often to be found in modern handsets. I'm talking about periscope camera technology. If you're a fan of fine art photos and like to use not only the main camera unit, I think you will be pleased with the local super wide and the powerful telephoto lens. It was the flagship but currently has dropped in price as much as possible, and if you can scrape together the necessary amount of money, you should not hesitate to buy a new one, otherwise to look for it on the aftermarket. Here I will dare to remind you about another model, Honor 20 Pro. Regarding the hardware, it's almost a complete clone of Huawei P30 Pro, and in terms of camera, it stands literally just one step lower. This makes the smartphone less sexy in photo shooting, however it's more affordable. If you have sober and straight arms, I suppose you can take decent content on the cameras of this smartphone. At this moment I have to pull over, because I can't dare to recommend something like iPhone 5 or 5S, and listing a giant range of budget Xiaomi smartphones that you can roll a Google camera on is a waste of time though. For the one who expected more devices under $150 with the spectacular cameras, unfortunately they simply don't exist. Definitely you might say that this Realme for $170 shoots better than that Redmi for $145, and some Nokia has got an update, so its cameras now are the same quality as the front-facing one in iPad Pro. But honestly, there are people who simply doesn't want to dig all that mud and just demand a list of smartphones about which I or any other reviewer will say it's okay. So that was our list of them. And this is it for today. If you like this video, then why not to support our channel by subscribing to it, hitting the like button, ringing the bell to stay tuned for more cool content. And thanks for watching, and cheers!